today we're going to be doing some faux painting, and in particular brushed suede. And this is a nice big room with a lot of light, and we've got big heavy furniture if you want to take a look at that. And so it can definitely support a strong, bold color. And brushed suede is a nice look that gives you just it's not a very dramatic look, but it gives you a subtle texture of a nice cozy room. So follow me. First step after prepping the walls is going to be just to cut in with a color that is very similar to the color of the brushed suede we're going to be using, which in this case the color is called Cooper Barrel. We're using a base coat.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to cover very well, just one coat over the existing paint color. And if you're a professional painter, you don't have to use any tape for this technique. If you are a homeowner, you may want to mask the crown molding and the baseboard, just so you don't get any paint on the trim. Alright, so keep a straight line. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it covers fairly well to give you a nice base coat for that faux finish suede. Okay, so I'll go around the room, cutting in with a brush, and then I'll roll in, and that'll be the next segment. Okay. Alright, we've got the room cut in, and we're ready to roll. This first coat is going to be a base coat for our brushed suede, and I'm sure most of you know how to roll a wall, but I just want to give you a couple stripes here just to show you the process. I've already dipped this roller, and you'll start a couple inches away from the actual corner, and just go up and down, obviously, all the way up and all the way down. I've got a little light socket here too. I'm trying to go around. I've already used a brush to paint around that. Alright, and like I said originally, it doesn't have to cover perfectly. It's just a base coat for the faux finish. So again, start off a couple inches away from where you last stopped, and then you go over to the left, fill that in, and then come over to the right some more. Alright, do that all the way down the wall. And I mentioned that we weren't going to do any taping, but I actually did tape the baseboard because the paint that I'm using for some reason is spitting a little bit on the baseboard. So I covered it up, and then I sanded the walls after I taped so that the dust falls down onto the tape and doesn't create a problem when you're trying to stick the tape through the baseboard. So that's just a little tip, and I'll get this room rolled, and we'll wait a couple hours before we do the suede. Well, it's actually been over 24 hours since we did the base coat, so it's definitely dry by now. The top coat I'm going to use is brushed suede. Again, it's a Valspar product. The color is called Cooper Barrel, again, so if anybody's looking for this particular color. Alright, what I'm going to use, well, I guess the technique behind brushed suede is to take a brush. I like to use a 3-inch brush, an angled sash, get a good firm grip on it, because you're going to be doing a lot of elbow work here. And just do X's, just like that. Alright, diagonal X's, you don't want to do up and down, you don't want to do side to side, you want to keep an X so that it keeps it a random pattern, okay? And here we go, I'll show you how this works. And the reason why I want to put a video together is because most instructional videos will start on the middle of the wall and not tell you how to deal with real life situations like crown molding and corners. So if you can see this, I'll start in the middle, or in the corner, and just like I'm cutting in the room, I'm going to make a straight line like that, but then I'm going to pull in a diagonal pattern at the top there. Okay, and I'll do the same thing down the corner. I don't want to get anything on the other wall, but cut down like that, and then do diagonal patterns again, and then I can fill in all this middle here. Okay, another tip I'll give you is I don't like to paint right out of the can. I like to use a bucket so I can dip the brush and then just smack off the excess paint instead of wiping it, because you want to keep a lot of paint on the brush, a copious amount, so that you can cut it in again and then pull it down diagonally. Okay, again, if you're just an amateur painter, you may want to tape up here to mask it. If you're a professional and can keep straight lines, then you don't necessarily need to mask it. Okay. Alright, now, the pattern I'm going to do is not a vertical column or a horizontal row as I go across the wall. I'm going to do kind of a random, unpredictable pattern, but I like to keep it kind of from the top, go down to the left like this. I'll do rows like this all the way down the wall, okay? So I'll take various pictures throughout the process so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, diagonal, pull, okay. Another tip that I like to do with brush suede, I mentioned this earlier in the video, I like to use a color that's similar to your top coat. It can be either a shade darker or a shade lighter, but that gives it a good difference in color, and it gives you more of that brush suede look, and you can see more of the two distinct colors coming through. It gives you a real nice subtle look. Okay, so just like that, and it's okay if you have some brush marks coming through. That allows that bottom color to come through. Okay, go down again, pull it diagonally. All right, fill that in. And then again, I'll start over at the top and then do another row just like that. So just keep going. Pull down. And I get a lot of paint on the brush, and you know, when I'm in the middle here, I can probably get 10 or 11 brush strokes out of that brush full of paint. Okay, so you can really fly when you are in the middle of the wall. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I'm about halfway through the wall now. It is a long wall, it's about 18 feet long. So, you know, I recommend when you do one wall that you keep a wet edge, you keep it going, and basically just do the wall non-stop. I just take a deep breath, a drink of water, and just start doing X's. Because you don't want to stop, keep that edge wet, and you want to slightly overlap the part where you just did. You don't want to get too much paint onto that old line that you already did. Just lightly overlap it, and just keep that edge wet. And as you see, I'm doing kind of an unpredictable pattern all the way down. Start at the left top corner, and I'm going all the way down and finish at the bottom right corner. So, and you'll see what it looks like. Alright, we're all finished, and we've got the brush suede on the wall, and this color was chosen because, like I said, they have heavy furniture, very nice, very dark. This is a good way to make a room cozy. It's a very subtle look. It's not going to pick up too well. I'm going to open the blinds here so you can see this long wall a little bit better, see a little bit of a texture. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to post your questions on the comment page there, and I can try to answer those. And you can also see some of this column here. It's a faux marble column. We did this before. I can cover how to do that as well. We've also got some faux marble inlays here that we did inside these picture boxes, which adds a nice effect. So lots more cool things to come, so stay tuned.